Hey, it's Nick from thefitnessfile.com here to help you grow your way to a healthier lifestyle. Today we're going to talk about accelerated fat loss. I've decided to do this because there's obviously tips that you can do which will help. It's just that some people are a little bit impatient and they want to see results quick, because if they don't, they sort of don't have the momentum to keep going. So these are the tips. Accelerated fat loss. Tip 1, eat good fat to lose fat. Alright, so this is going to be things like your mono and poly unsaturated fats, so things like your avocados, things like your nuts, seeds, flax seeds, omega-3s, alright, so your fish oils, okay, olives. Okay, so make sure you take that in enough of. One, it sort of obviously gives you what your body needs, okay, but on top of that as well, it stops your body from panicking. Okay, so your body feels like, oh yes, I'm seeing this regular, therefore I don't mind letting some of it go. Alright, so I mean, as humans we do it with money quite often. If we see a regular amount of money coming in, we don't mind, say, spending a bit of it. Okay, your body's a bit of the same when it comes to things like water and fat. Alright, so keep good fat coming in to then lose fat. Good fat, that is. Number 2, alright, watch how much carbohydrates you're eating. Okay, limit it a little bit. Particularly if you're someone who's not really that active at the moment. It could be that you're eating too much carbohydrates that if you don't burn them, then do indeed get stored as fat. Okay, so things like sugar, okay, really watch how much sugar you're having in particular, alright? But not only that, it's going to be things like potatoes, rice, pasta. If you eat a lot of that, okay, you know, yes, it fills you up, but again, it will still get stored as fat because it's an energy that you're consuming, when if you don't burn it, it will get stored as that. So that's number 1 reason to limit the carbohydrates. The other reason as well is when you do consume carbohydrates, insulin levels are then spiked, okay, to then carry the energy, alright, and then have it stored away if you're not indeed burning it. So when there's insulin present, alright, and if it is constantly getting spiked throughout the day, people are doing that, okay, one, obviously, it then really does blunt the effectiveness of insulin, alright, its work rate, because if you overwork something, it then affects its value of working. And then also, while it is present, there's another hormone involved called glucagon, okay, and that's the hormone that will take an energy that's already stored and then put it back into the bloodstream. Alright, so then you can then burn it. So think about that really narrow road, alright, that only one thing at a time can go through. Okay, while insulin's going through that really narrow road, glucagon's there waiting, thinking, I can't take this stored energy to get burnt off because insulin keeps coming this way. Okay, so watch out on the carbohydrates, let it chill, let insulin just chill out as well. And then glucagon be like, alright, cool, we can now take what we've already got and let that be burnt. Alright. I personally do my workouts, at least I have done and have been doing to get myself fit and lose weight again, is do my workouts in a fasted state. Okay, so insulin levels aren't there, they're all at a base level now. Alright, so when I do my exercise, my compound weight training, my interval cardiovascular training, I'm actually taking energy, glucagon then can then I'm taking the energy that's already stored and burning fat, essentially. So yeah, that's another reason. I then want you to then keep your protein levels up. Alright, perhaps a lot of people are not eating enough protein. Get good sources of protein, really important. In particular, we need about to maintain where you're at, about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. Alright, so if we're looking at just maintaining where we are at the moment, the protein obviously building the building blocks, it maintains and repairs muscle, alright, you're looking at least one gram per kilogram of body weight. If you're then doing weight training on top of that, maybe increasing it up to maybe 1.5, and if you are really into your weight training and you want to get big, then you're looking at 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. But yeah, good sources, I must stress, of protein. All right. Also, it helps with the hunger hormone ghrelin as well, so that's another reason. Then I would like you to then keep up your water intake, which basically you need at least for every 25 kilograms of body weight, 1 litre of water. And any exercises in addition to that, per 1 hour exercise, you need to add another litre of water on top of that. You can also eat your water through fruits and veg as well. So fruit and veg obviously is really good source of things like fibre, your vitamins, your minerals. All right. Also a really good source for water as well. And if you eat your water, it's good at kind of keeping up your electrolytes, your body salts and sugars. That's good as well. Bear in mind, fruit is whole sugars and not been refined. I actually look at my fruit as being dessert quite often. Don't get me wrong, there's times where I do actually have a proper dessert, but if you look at this fruit as perhaps being a bit of a treat, that might help as well. So that's your fruits and your veg. Then we're looking at resistance weight training. All right, so your compound exercises, what I talked about, twice a week, whole body exercises. As you get better and better, you might then want to do more and more, where you split your body into categories. So you do, one day you do legs, one day you do your upper body like chest and arms, and then you do back and as well. So, but think about that. To start off with, twice a week, whole body resistance weight training. So you got your push, your pulls, and your lift with your legs. Okay. Use big muscle groups. All right. Use big engines. The bigger the engine, the more you use, the more fuel you're going to burn, i.e., in the way of fat. Okay. So think about that. We don't want to see, oh, let's just do some bicep curls or tricep extensions. Okay, because they're just one muscle group. You're looking at doing good old bench presses or chest press, squats, lunges, okay, some pull-ups, okay, some seated rows that engage more than one muscle. Okay, the more muscles you engage, the more energy you need, and therefore the more energy you're burning. Okay, also if you're building muscle a little bit, you're toning as well. The protein that you're eating is also aiding your muscles to build up, to be stronger and to maintain. All right, so that's why we need it, and you need daily intake of that. Sticking on the exercise as well, twice a week for 30 minutes interval cardiovascular training. So what I mean by that is, instead of just running or jogging at the same rate for God knows how long, all right, which only really accesses one energy source. Okay, if you do your jog, you sprint, and I mean sprint. All right, and then you walk, like your rest and recovery, you'll then access your free energy sources then. All right, so you're hitting your body at different angles, so to speak. So you sprint, think about an Olympic runner or sprinter even. He can't sprint long, but he's sprinting as hard as he can. Okay, get it in there. You want to be tired, and then you have a walk, and then you bring it up to a jog again for another minute or two, and then sprint again for maybe 10-12 seconds, and then come back to a walk. All right, maybe you're not even there yet where you can sprint, but maybe just have the intensity higher, so you're still bringing it down. Maybe you can't sprint flat out, but at least do, you know, a steady variable and changes. It might be if you're on the treadmill that you have it on a incline and you're doing a pretty good rate up the hill, and then you come back down to a walk or something like that, and then the jog, and then you're going up and down. You're not just staying at the same level. All right, and another one, just make sure your day's just more active. Okay, maybe you want to again take the stairs instead of the elevator. If you can walk to shops, pick your shopping up instead of taking a car or backpack, or just something that might involve you just being just more physical in everyday lifestyle. Do a little workout in the morning. Okay, I've done a video for that as well, but you know, just think about it. Think, you know, just have more of an active daily life. And if you're not, make time for maybe that just steady jog for 30 minutes. You know, just think about it. You know, as animals in nature, as our ancestors would have done, They would have been physical for a lot of the time of the day, and if you're not, then you need to put some time aside to actually be active. Okay, that's basically it. Because what we're doing is that we're overeating and consuming too much energy and not really burning it off. That's why we've got the problems we have. Another one, really important, is sleep. Really good night's sleep, 8 hours at least is recommended. And I don't mean 8 hours in the bed, I mean 8 hours sleeping. So leave your phone opposite side of the room, set your alarm for in the morning, so when the alarm goes off, you actually have to get out of bed to then turn it off, rather than just hit snooze. Alright? Because not only does it do that, it also keeps you away from someone always texting you, and they could be from other parts of the world, different time zones, and you're there, and it disturbed, broken sleep's terrible for it. Alcohol also does break your sleep as well. That's another little thing to recognise. So think about it, good quality sleep. Your bed is for sleeping in, amongst other things. Make sure it's only used for that and not really an office or a social hub. Alright? So that's your sleep. And then stress, finally, really. Stress is a real big problem. Alright? So if you can identify what it is really stresses you out, see what you can do about it. Okay? Maybe there's an issue at work or at home, and then maybe talk it through, try and make progress. Or sometimes it's just take yourself away somewhere. You know, exercise again is really good for de-stressing. It's just that if you have that built up energy and you feel it in your stomach and you get that fight or flight sort of hormones, you know, you get your adrenaline is one, but then you get something called cortisol as well. That really then brings your energy around the stomach. And if you don't burn it off, it can really have the weight around the midsection. So stress is a big one. Think about it. Allow some time for yourself. A bit of meditation even. It's great. Or just something that you really enjoy. If something's really bothering you or worrying you, just write it down and then just think, well, is there anything I can do about it now? If it's no, then don't. Don't try and control things that you perhaps can't control. Just don't worry too much. We're all guilty of it. I know I am, so don't worry about it too much. And then daylight as well. Daylight's a really big one as well. A lot of us are not getting enough daylight. You know, I mean, at least get out there, get some vitamin D. You know, just think it's nature is what we want. Or I'm not saying burn yourself if you live in a hot country, but you know, show some arms, show some legs. You know, lie outside in it if it's a nice day. Get it in you. Get the vitamin D. And vitamin D then does also get stored in your fat stores as well. So it's another reason why we need fat. So just to recap then, eat good fat to lose fat. Make sure you don't eat too many carbs because it gets stored as fat if you don't burn it off. Also, when you eat carbohydrates, insulin levels are spiked, therefore you can't burn the stored energy. All right, get your proteins up, at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. If not a bit more if you're doing resistance weight training. You want to keep up your fruit and veg and your water. Okay, water would be 1 litre of water per 25 kilograms of body weight, plus an extra litre for physical activity. Then we also want you to do resistance weight training, compound resistance weight training, whether it's your body weight or whether it's just, but you've got to overload the muscles. No point you get into, oh, I've done them now, finish, what's next. You really need to feel like you strain. There's a difference between strain and pain, all right? So start off light, get the technique right, and then you want to overload the muscle and then feel the burn, all right? Then your body is then really accessing the energy stores, and there's also then promoting your body into making your muscles stronger and more defined. And then it uses protein to do that, all right? And then we want to look at things like your interval training, so your jog, or you sprint, or at least higher level exercise than the rest in recovery. Repeat that twice a week, 30 minutes. Then you can just look at your everyday lifestyle. How can I make it a bit more physically active? Do I go outside? Do I play with my kids? Do I, you know, just be active, big long walks or something like that. That's fine. It's all good. It's all good to do it. Sleep, make sure you get good sleep, alright? Keep away from your laptops, your tablets, your phones. Bed, sleep. Everything else outside the room or out of the room. You know, stress levels, try and keep them under wraps. And then daylight as well, get out in the sun. If you don't have sun, then don't worry about it because it's still there. I mean, the UV rays and everything that still comes through the clouds. It's good to get outside, get fresh air. Anyway, I'm Nick from thefitness5.com and that's my tips on accelerated fat loss. Take care, bye!